Lesson 7, Word Study, already, yet, still. These three words cause a great deal of difficulty. Already. Already means before now, up to now, by this time, so far. For example, I have already explained this. Hob has already eaten 6 cakes and is starting on the 7th. By the way, don't confuse already and already. You have examples of both these forms in the following sentences. Susan has already set the table for dinner. It's already now. At last all is ready. Yet has the meanings, up to now, so far, at this moment. For example, he hasn't yet replied to my letter. I haven't finished my work yet. I can't come out just yet. Has the postman come yet? Have you heard from your brother yet? The difference in usage between already and yet is already is used in affirmative statements, yet is used in negative and interrogative sentences. But already can be used in interrogative sentences where you expect an answer yes. For example, here's my work, Mr. Presolai. What? Have you finished it already? Already and yet are generally used with the perfect tenses of the verb, but can be used with a continuous tense. For example, the girls are already planning the dresses they will wear. Page 14. You are not going yet, are you? Still has the meaning right up to the present moment. For example, the doctor is still there. It is 11 o'clock but Jan is still hard at work. In some cases still and yet may have the same meaning. For example, I've still a few pages to read. I've a few pages to read yet. Are all the students here? No. Hob hasn't come yet. No, there's still Hob to come. Still is often contrasted with not yet. For example, he is still busy. He has not yet finished his work. He has not finished his work yet. When still is used in questions, it often suggests feeling of some sort. For example, surprise or annoyance. What? Are you still working? I thought you had gone home. Is that fellow still here? I wish he'd go away. Notice another construction with still and yet. Viz. With comparatives. For example, you must work harder yet. You must work still harder. We have exported a lot of goods but we must export still more. We must export more yet. Verb study. 5. Give. He will have to give up his studies. Give up equals abandon, stop. There are two usual patterns with give. 1. Subject plus give, pronoun. 2. Pronoun. He gave food to the hungry man. 2. Subject plus give, indirect object, direct object. Mr. Presolai gave his class an English lesson. Other idiomatic usage with give. The teacher will give out equals distribute the books. Henry says he is going to give up equals stop smoking. The railing on which he was leaning gave way equals broke, and he fell from the cliff. He pretended to be English but his foreign accent gave him away equals betrayed him. Prepositions. 2. About has the meaning concerning. For example, I want you to tell me about your work. I shall be thinking about you all the time you are away. That is all right for you, but what about me? B. Approximately. For example, I'll see you at about 6 o'clock. There is about 120 British pounds difference between this car and that one. C. In various directions or places. For example, I go about the country a good deal. You will be warm enough if you move about. This is not screwed down firmly, it moves about when you touch it. D. With come, happen. For example, I hear that George has broken his leg. How did that come about? Above, has often the same meaning as over and can be contrasted with below. For example, in Mr. Presolai's room there is a clock above, over, the fireplace. We flew above the clouds. B. Mentioned earlier. For example, in the above examples. In the examples above. 1. See picture Essential English 1, page 93. 2. Above in this case is an adjective. C. Most important of. For example, think about what I have told you, but above all, don't breathe a word of it to Henry. Idiomatic expression. Brown's business is not doing well. He is finding it difficult to keep his head above water, equals to pay his way. Across. Across means from one side to the other. For example, the child ran across the road. You cross a check by drawing 2 lines across it and writing in company. Run across can also mean meet unexpectedly. For example, I ran across our friend Smith yesterday. After is generally used to denote time or order. For example, I'll see you after dinner. He goes on working day after day, week after week without any change. To look after equals to care for. For example, if my wife goes away for a week, who's going to look after me and the children? After all equals in spite of what you thought. For example, you can see I was right after all. Against expresses the idea of the opposition. For example, he who is not for us is against us. B. Support. For example, he rested his bicycle against the wall. C. To avoid the danger from. For example, my house is insured against fire. Among, amongst, amongst expresses the position in the midst of. For example, you can see my house among the trees. B. Included in. For example, Shelley is among, equals one of, the world's greatest poets. C. Sharing. For example, the sweets are to be shared among the 5 children. With this last meaning, between is generally used for two, among for more than two. For example, the sweets were divided between the 2 children, but this distinction is not always strictly observed. At is used mainly to denote a place or point of time. For example, I'll see you at the station at 4 o'clock. He lives at Torquay in Devonshire. I live in London. It is generally used for small towns, in for large cities, counties, or countries, but it depends on how we are thinking about a place. We could say I live in the village of Newton because I am thinking of the place and its surroundings. But does this train stop at Crewe, a big town? Because we are thinking of Crewe merely as a point on the railway. But there are many other meanings of at. For example, the apples were sold at 60 a pound, but that was really at a loss, not at a profit. He is good at football. English, his work. Shakespeare died at the age of 52. Many further examples of all prepositions are given in the Teacher's Book 4. Exercises. 1. In the following sentences put in the word yet or already or still. In some cases more than one of the words may be correct. 1. Pedro is going to leave London, the others have gone. 2. Hob hadn't arrived when the lesson started. 3. I had learned some English before I came to England. 4. I have studied English for some years but I am learning. 5. What? Are you here? I thought you had gone home. 6. Hasn't that letter come? 7. Are you going to see the picture at the cinema? No, I have seen it. 8. You have worked hard but you must work harder. 9. Have you read that book? I thought it would take you longer. 10. I told you to take all that wood away and it is there. 2. Write 6 sentences each containing an example of give as a phrasal verb. 3. Study the pictures on page 59 and then tell the story of the reading of the wheel. Study the pictures on page 59 and then tell the story of the reading of the wheel. Study the pictures on page 59 and then tell the story of the reading of the wheel. Reproduced by permission of the proprietors of Punch. The reading of the wheel.